So what did we learn in our previous session? We've seen the complete introduction to the Selenium WebDriver, and we have also seen Selenium IDE, and then we have downloaded, or we are ready with the prerequisites of Selenium WebDriver, right? So we have downloaded some reference libraries from selenium.dev site, the prerequisites, which are the jar files of language binding for Selenium, and we added them to the project reference library. So that project, how did we add this project reference library? Is right click on the project, go to build path, configure build path, and under libraries tab, we have selected class path and added all the external jar files from all the folders of Selenium server. I mean Selenium library what we have downloaded. Then we went to selenium.dev and we went to each of the browser driver files and then downloaded 3 of the browser driver files. Now we have the prerequisites or required files for the WebDriver to work. Okay. Now let us start writing code using it. So I'm going to create a new package. I'm creating a new class. This is C1 underscore intro to WebDriver. I need a main method. All right. So now let's see. We have a main method. Now we have to run this program. We know how to write some small programs using Java, but we need to open the browser now. To open the browser, we added these reference libraries and in our folder. Stop. In our folder, in under Selenium, under files used, under web drivers, we have downloaded the browser exe files as well. Right? Now we have this path. Now your code, whatever code that we are going to write in this place should come here and should trigger this, because this, once we double click on it, it is going to open a browser. I mean, it is going to work on the browser. So we have to trigger these events. Whatever the browser related code is present inside the exe files. Okay. Now we have to open these browsers. So for that, we have one code system dot set property. Okay. We have to use this. This is a mandatory line, system dot set property, which is taking 2 parameters. One is key, and other one is value. Value is the path of your browser driver. For example, now I want to work with. So go to the path where your Chrome driver is downloaded or Chrome driver exe file is there, and then select that file, shift right click. Now you will see an extra option called copy as path. Just copy as path, paste it here. That's all. Now we have this value. Okay. And this value should be assigned to some key. This value should be assigned to some. What is that key? That is also a string. That will be WebDriver dot driver dot system. We don't know. Yeah, WebDriver dot Chrome dot drive. It's not WebDriver dot driver. WebDriver dot For each browser, we have this separate key. So this is kind of map. Okay, we are assigning this variable with this value. But where are these values are stored? These are system properties. You are setting your system to know that your browser is present at this place. Okay.
How did you type this system set property? System control space. Oh, yeah.
System dot. That's all.
Sure.
Okay. And then invoke browser class. Okay. To invoke this browser class, this driver.exe file, we have to create an object for it. So we have Chrome driver class from org.openqa.selenium Chrome, right? Chrome driver ch driver is equals to new Chrome driver. This is now we are taking we have created an object for the Chrome driver class. Open the browser. To open a browser, we have created an object, and object we have so many methods. You see, these are all the methods which are related to the web driver or the browser. Okay, these are all the methods which are related to Selenium and Chrome driver. From this, when I want to open a application, we have to use this get method. Okay. For example, I want to open Facebook. So these are the mandatory lines to open a browser and invoke a browser. Okay. So what is the line now? This is setting this, or this is letting your system know where your browser driver file is present. Okay. And this class is helping us get the methods of this Chrome driver which are present inside. I mean, we should be able to run it, right? So we are setting this, and then using this driver object, using this Chrome driver object, I can perform any operations that I want to do on the browser, because whatever the methods that I want that are present under the Chrome driver. So I created a Chrome driver object, and in this Chrome driver class, whatever the methods are present, I will be able to use on this object because this is of type Chrome driver. Okay. Now let's see. Let us run this. Right click. See browser open with Facebook URL. That means now we are successful. We are able to successfully open a new browser with the required URL, or a new application, or the required application is opened in a new browser. Okay. Right. Now let us try the same for Firefox. Okay. Again. System dot set property, which is taking two values. So here WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. Okay, and then the path will be same, exactly same, but instead of Chrome driver.exe file, we have to pass Firefox driver. You see, this is the gecko driver, so we have to pass this. That's all. Now we are letting the system know where your gecko driver is present with this properties. Okay. To to invoke a browser of type Firefox. So we have Firefox driver. Okay, Firefox driver, FF driver is equals to new Firefox driver. We are just creating an object for this Firefox driver class, and then FF driver dot get of this URL something HTTP
These
colon.
objects are inbuilt, Nikhil. Is this web Chrome driver, Firefox driver are all objects are inbuilt? Or
These are classes. These are classes.
you are creating new class or it's inbuilt?
We are not creating this class. You are not listening to the session then. I told you there are the class files which are present in the Selenium library. That is the reason we added these jar files.
Oh, okay.
These libraries, we have all the code related to the Selenium. You see Chrome, Edge, Firefox.
Okay.
Right? We are creating objects for these packages and these classes. You see Firefox driver class. Inside this, we have the methods. Once I open this, okay, source is not attached, so I'm not able to see the source, but all the methods are present inside this Firefox driver. Okay. Right. These Firefox driver class or this Chrome driver class is going to invoke the methods which are present inside this driver.exe file, because the methods are the meaning of those methods are present in this driver.exe file. So whatever the method that we are calling, this method will be applied on this driver file which we have downloaded and kept. Okay. And for suppose I'll open not Gmail, I'll open Twitter. Okay. Now on Chrome, we are opening Facebook, and on Firefox, we are opening Twitter. So the only difference, or the differences that we are doing is, for Firefox driver, we are invoking a Firefox object, or we are invoking a Firefox class object. Okay, and then we are also letting the system know where the Chrome driver is present, where the Firefox driver is present. Okay, this is common. We are just letting know the system, but the difference is, to invoke a Chrome, we are creating a Chrome driver class. To invoke Firefox, we are creating Firefox class object. Okay, so that is the difference. Now let us see. Chrome is opened with Facebook. Okay, Firefox. Firefox is opened. And it is opened with the Twitter class or Twitter site. Right? Now we got whatever we want. So now we are able to open these browsers. Now we are open. We are able to understand how do we invoke a browser. Right? We have to set the system property. We have to set or we have to create an object for that particular driver, whatever that browser you are using. Whether it might be a Chrome, whether it might be a Firefox, whether it might be Edge or Internet Explorer or Safari, whatever the browser you want to use, Opera, if you are using all these kinds of browsers, these lines will be changed, these two lines. Okay. So now, for example, I wrote everything using this Chrome driver, and after all the classes, like for example, I wrote around 20 to 30 test cases using this Chrome driver, and suddenly my manager asked me, I want to change this. I want to run the same scripts in other browser as well. I want to run it in Firefox as well. So are we going to come to each class and change this Chrome driver to Firefox driver and change this property? No, right? It is not possible to do. So that is why what we do is, we are going to convert this we are going to convert this into a method, reusable method, where we can just call that method by passing some parameters, so that whatever the values we want or whatever the browser we want, we will be invoking it. Before going to it, let us learn a little more. Okay, the hierarchy and in real time, do we use this Chrome driver is equals to be Chrome driver, or what we use? Okay, in real time, we don't use Chrome driver is equals to Chrome driver, because we are not going to change this object type. We are only going to change the invoker class. Okay, now I cannot assign this Chrome driver to the, okay, instead of explaining here, I'll write a method and then we can explain. Okay, I'm writing a method to get this driver object. Okay, public, current I'm keeping it as void, and then I will say get driver. This get driver, based on the browser we want, we are opening the driver. So I'm creating string. I have to pass my browser name, then only I can open this. Okay, I created a browser. Now I will create a switch case. Okay, and the key is browser. Okay, if a case value is Chrome or case Chrome or CHR, Chrome, anything, uppercase or lowercase. If we have this Chrome, then what are we going to do? We are going to call these lines. Okay. Similarly, we have for Firefox. This is Firefox. Firefox. It's up to us whether you want to have this or not. Let us have only. Okay, and we will pass in this order only. Chrome and Firefox. This should not be a Chrome driver, and this should not be a Chrome driver. Let us get driver dot. And now this is a Chrome driver, and this will be a Firefox driver. FF driver. Okay, now our intent or our purpose of this get driver method is to return this driver object. But now, if I want to return the driver after the switch case, I want to return a driver. Which one should I return? CH driver or FF driver? If I return CH driver, only Chrome will be returned. If I return FF driver, only Firefox will be returned. So will it be possible for me to return whatever the type of browser, or will it be possible for me to return multiple things? No, right? Return statement will be the last statement in any method. So if it is the last statement, I cannot have multiple return statements returning different things. I cannot have conditions and return again. This is already condition. So in that case, let us see the hierarchy of this browser driver. Now it's already open for you. Now you see, this is the hierarchy of the WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver. These are all the interfaces and classes which are present inside the Selenium WebDriver concept. Okay. So for Selenium WebDriver, the parent class is search context. Here, this search context interface will help us find the elements on your browser. Now, if you want to perform operations, we have seen on Selenium IDE, right? If you want to enter the text into username field or password field, we are identifying that element using its HTML attributes. So to find those HTML attributes and to identify an element using those HTML attributes or anything, we have some methods like find element and find elements. Those methods are present inside this search context. Okay, and this search context is extended by WebDriver. This is also again an interface where the browser related methods are present inside it, like opening a browser WebDriver get method that we have used, and if you want to close your browser, you can use this, and we have a few similar methods like this. Okay, browser navigation, browser refreshing. So all such kind of WebDriver browser related methods are present inside. And this WebDriver is implemented now because this remote we are calling this as implemented because this WebDriver is an interface and remote WebDriver is a class. So this WebDriver is implemented by a remote WebDriver, and to this remote WebDriver we parallelly have two more interfaces which are JavaScript executor and take screenshot. Okay, for now forget about this JavaScript executor and take screenshot. We are going to learn about them in a little later point of time once we complete this WebDriver. Okay, so the hierarchy is search context and then WebDriver. WebDriver is being implemented by remote WebDriver. A remote WebDriver is a class, but it is again a parent class. This remote WebDriver is extended by all your browser classes, like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari. All the browser classes are extended from this remote WebDriver. Okay. Currently, we don't use this remote WebDriver. We use this remote WebDriver only when we use Grid. So let us not discuss more about this remote WebDriver. This will be used to trigger the browsers in remote machines which are present at different locations. So that is why we don't use this remote WebDriver in regular situations. We use this remote WebDriver only when we use a Grid concept. Okay. Now we are creating objects for these classes, right? This Chrome driver is a child of remote WebDriver. Remote WebDriver is a child of WebDriver. WebDriver is a child of search context. So this is the complete hierarchy. Now, can I convert my Chrome driver type of object to WebDriver? What concept is it? Can I convert Firefox type of driver to WebDriver? We can, right? We saw the sessions about inheritance, polymorphism. We are creating an object for child class and converting it to parent type. Overriding, method overriding. Did you see that? We created an object for child class and converted it to parent type. These are all the parents, so I can convert this child class to any of these parents. So I am going to create object for this Chrome driver and convert it to WebDriver, which is a parent type. Okay. So instead of having this separately, explicitly Chrome driver, so what I am going to do is I am going to create object of type WebDriver driver. Imported. So instead of saving or assigning it to a Chrome driver, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. For Firefox also, I use the same. Now, if I want to return the browser, I can just return this driver object, right? Because if I am creating a Chrome instance, that is assigned to the same WebDriver interface. If I am creating a Firefox instance, that is again assigned to the same WebDriver, because this Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, whatever classes are there, whatever the browsers are there, these are child classes of WebDriver interface, or these are the classes which are implementing WebDriver interface. So I can convert these browser types into WebDriver. Right? That's all. So since I'm returning, I have to add a type. So I'll give of type WebDriver. This driver is of type web driver. So I'm mentioning here web driver. Okay. See here. Okay, it is written inside the same. That's why it's okay. Now, this is still throwing an error because we are assigning a driver value for Chrome case, for Firefox case, but for default we do not have any driver. We should give some value for the driver in any of the case. So that is the reason it is throwing error. We have Chrome, Firefox. Let us add for some more browsers as well. Edge. So for Edge, this is my previous. WebDriver.ie.driver. Let's use this WebDriver.ie.driver. But we didn't download the Internet Explorer driver. We have to download and then set this. We have downloaded Edge driver. Let's use this as Edge only. And then let's see the system.set property for Edge. WebDriver.edge.driver. So nothing changed. Only in center instead of this we use Edge.driver. I'm always checking this because Firefox, we are not using Firefox. For Chrome, we are using Chrome. For Edge, we are using Edge. So I thought there might be differences between these things. So that is why I'm always checking whether what value should I give here, because we don't know. This is a mandatory value.
Nikhil, can you go to that Google one? Set the driver path. No, there is a driver dot fit, right?
Which one? Driver object?
Down. Driver dot fit.
We'll go there. Why are you in a hurry? We'll go there. Don't worry. We'll go there. We are yet understanding this concept only. Converting this Edge driver to web driver type. Okay. We'll go there. All right. So now for Edge driver, we have this Edge driver. So I have. Okay. So now we have Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. We have all the cases. And by default, if you want to open a default browser, then you can set that browser type here. Otherwise, you can set this driver value as none. If I do not give, or if the keyword which I am passing is not matching any of these cases or any of these browsers, then what should I do? I want to open, by default, I want to open Chrome. Okay. If none of this is matching, I want to open by default Chrome because I don't want to stop my execution because of this not matching case. If any of this is not matching, then I'll defaultly open Chrome. But in case needed, I'm going to also add a statement. Okay. Since the param is not matching any case, defaulting driver to Chrome driver. Okay, we can have this. And now we are returning this driver. Okay, now we don't have to change anything. We can just call this method name with the browser name, and then we'll get the driver object, which is of type web driver. Okay, this is the method. But how does it look if you write a code for it? Let me open this. Okay, this Firefox driver, instead of storing in Firefox driver, I'm storing in web driver. and I'm assigning it to the variable called driver. That's all. This is the only difference we are having. This is the only difference. We are converting a child class object to a parent class type or parent interface type. You see, this is an interface. Web driver. We are converting this Firefox driver to web driver. Okay. Now we have this method ready. Whenever we want, we are going to call this getDriver method by passing the browser object. So when you pass Chrome, it will return a Chrome driver object. When you pass Firefox, it will return Firefox. When you pass Edge, it will return Edge. If you have some more browsers, you can add those browser files here. Now let us see this. I'll comment all this. And main method is a static, right? But this getDriver is inside the class and not static. If I want to use this getDriver method inside the main method, what should I do? Can I directly use getDriver?
No, we have to create a new object.
Exactly. So I'm going to create an object for this particular class. Okay. Let me say as utils is equals to new C1 intro to WebDriver. And then on this utils dot, you see I have this getDriver method. Okay. I'll call this getDriver by passing the name. And this is returning a driver, right? So I have to catch the driver so that I can apply these methods on the browser. So I'm going to store. Okay. Now I'm going to apply my methods on this driver. Driver dot get. Okay. This driver dot get. Let us go to our RFC channel. That's all. Now we see this. Every time we are invoking a browser, we are not going to write these lines of code. We are just going to that particular class where this getDriver method is present and getting that getDriver method. So this is going to return as a driver all the things that needed, setting the system properties and then invoking that browser class or invoking the browser exe file. Everything is happening inside this getDriver method and it is returning a type WebDriver. Now I'm storing that in a WebDriver object and then I'm using my methods. Now let us run this and see. See, Orange HRM is opened on Chrome. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, I don't want this on Chrome browser, I want it on Firefox. I'll just change this browser. I don't have to change anything on the code. But if we are writing like this, we have to change this complete line. And wherever we are using this driver, wherever you are using this FF driver, we have to update that browser object. Right? But here, if you are just changing the parameter, that's enough. Rest all the statements will be same for all the browsers. Okay. Now let's see this. Firefox, driver. See, on Firefox, Orange HRM is open. Okay. Now I'm giving some random name. Do we have a Bobby browser? No, right? We do not have a Bobby browser. Now let's see what is happening. What is it saying? Since Since the parameter is not matching any case, defaulting driver to Chrome driver. So whatever the text that I give is not matching to any of the case. So what it's doing? It is defaulting the browser to Chrome driver. Or if you don't want, you can mark it as null, or you can assign the driver value as null. Okay, it's up to us. How do you want to deal this default? If you want to open a default browser, you can set any of the browser as default, not only Chrome. If you like Firefox, you can default it to Firefox. If you like Edge, you can default it to Edge. If you like Internet Explorer, you can default it to Internet Explorer. It's up to you. Okay. All right. So this is how we invoke a browser. Now that we are able to open a browser and we are able to go to a URL. Now you see, when I open this browser and when I go to this URL, browser is present in half window. Right? This is not in full window, right? This is the full size. When we open, it is opening in this window, partial. So I don't want to have my screen look like this. I want to have my screen in full screen like this, in maximized mode, not full screen, in maximized mode. So I have methods in this driver. Okay. After opening the driver, by default, I want to maximize this browser. Whatever I open, I have to open that. I have to maximize that browser. So what I'm going to do? Driver tab, manage. I'm managing my windows, right? Driver dot manage dot. Where is that? Window in the bottom. Driver dot manage dot window, and then we have again methods on this, which is maximize. That's all. So by calling this is the concept of method chain. This driver dot manage is returning manageable driver. Okay, options. Inside these options, I am having window method. So this window is returning a window object. And on the window, I have maximize method. Understood? So this is the concept of method chaining, and then on driver, I'm managing my windows and maximizing the size of the window. Earlier, when I opened, the browser was opened in this format, and it was in this format until the execution is completed. But now you see, when I run it, it opens the URL and then maximizes. Did it maximize? So this is some basic thing. We are opening the browser and we are going to that particular URL and then we are maximizing it. Okay, and then let us see some more things that we can do on the driver. Okay, driver dot navigate dot to. This is another method which will help us to navigate to a particular URL. Okay, navigate dot, see, navigate. There is a small difference between get and navigate. Driver dot get is opening this URL on the browser, and similarly we can also open this URL on the browser using this to method, driver dot nav dot to method, which is taking a string. You see, you can also open instead of orange HRL, let me say https /facebook. Now you see, this is opening a new driver and opening this URL. After maximizing, I am going to navigate or and show you. Then I'll explain what is the difference between this driver.get and driver.navigate. See, after maximizing, it is changing it to Facebook. Orange HRM was opened, but it changed to Facebook. All right. So now let us see the differences between this driver.get and driver.navigate.do. Okay. So this driver.get, the only purpose of this get method is to open a browser with a particular URL. Whatever the URL that we are giving or whatever the URL that we are passing, with that URL, this browser will be open. That is the only purpose of this driver.get method, which is going to open a new browser and then navigate to this particular URL. Okay, fine. But now here driver.navigate, we already opened a browser. We already opened a browser and we navigated to this URL. That means we already have a browser tab which is open. Now in the tab, I want to go to a different URL. Then we use this driver.navigate.to. Okay. Once the browser is opened successfully, you can use this. Driver.get has only one functionality, that is opening a particular application using the URL. But this driver.navigate, this navigate method is developed, or this navigate method is given by the browser WebDriver. Browser. So what does this do? So this navigate has some extra methods. We can go to a particular URL, or see again driver.navigate, which is giving a navigation type of object. Navigate dot, you see here we have back, we have forward, and then we have refresh, and then we have all the methods are from object class. We can ignore. You see only for the navigation. So what is it doing? We will be able to go back, we will be able to forward, we will be able to refresh, and we will be able to open a new URL. What are these operations? When you open a browser, you see here there is a back button. If you want to click or if you want to invoke this back behavior, then we use this navigate.back. And then if you want to use this forward button, then we use forward. If you want to use this refresh, then we use navigate.refresh. And to open a URL or to change the application here, we use navigate.to. These are the browser specific operations which are given by the WebDriver interface. Understood? We see here, here I'm opening Orange HRM, and then after maximizing, I'm going to Facebook, and then I'm clicking on back. That means when I navigate to Facebook and then click on back, it should open Orange HRM site again, right? Let us see. I'll close all this. Observe it, it will be done very fast. Orange HRM is open. Maximized, navigated to Facebook. Again, it clicked on back, so it opened Orange HRM. Understood? So this is the difference between driver.get and driver.navigate. Driver.get is having only one purpose, that is having opening an application with a given URL. Whereas navigate has 4 different methods which helps us to perform the browser operations like going backward, going forward, refreshing the browser, and as well as opening a particular URL. Understood?
Can you run it one more time? This one?
Okay. Done?
Where it is going backward, it just exploring that the one we gave, right?
See, Orange HRM is the first thing that is opening. And then
Correct.
after maximizing, it is navigating to Facebook, and then it
Correct.
is navigating back to RNHR. Observe the screen.
God asked for this. Wait.
Oh,
Which site is it opening now? RNHR. Then it, after maximizing, it went to Facebook, and then it again went back to RNHR. This is done, right? Did you see it? Or do you want me to run it again? Hello, Bobby. Did you see
Can
my
you run
step?
it again? Can you run it again?
Okay, I'll do one thing. I know this is going fast, so that is why you're not observing it. I will add this thread dot slip, but for now, ignore it. I'll tell you later what is this thread dot slip and why should be used in the synchronization concept. Have this after. Okay. Now observe it. I added 3 seconds of sleep. Now you will be seeing. RHRM site is loading. Max 3 seconds waited. Maximized. Okay. Now it is opening Facebook. Waiting for 3 seconds. And then it is going to RHRM. You understood? Or is it still down? You saw that, right? Orange HRM is present, and then it went to Facebook, and then again it came back to Orange HRM. How did it come? Did I call the Orange HRM site again after going to Facebook? No, I'm using the back button, browser's back button. So that is why it is going to Orange HRM. If I click on this forward button, it will take me to Facebook. You see, if I click on this back, it is taking me to Orange HRM because that is the history, browser history, page history. Clear?
Yes, we see it.
So these are the common or basic things of a browser. Opening a browser and then going to that particular URL, and then maximizing that window, and then using navigate method to go to a particular URL, or use the operations like back, forward, and refresh. We have multiple methods. Based on the need, you can use the method you want. Okay. And what are the basic things that we have to learn? Okay. Driver dot driver dot close. These are the okay. Okay. Now we have created an object for driver, right? Web driver. We call this get driver, and we have stored it inside the driver. I'm always using. So I got a driver object. A driver object is created. Now I want to close this. See, I have a browser open. I want to close this browser. Okay. To close that browser, I can use this driver dot close. Okay. When we used this until here without this closed driver dot close line, the browser stopped after going back. It did not close. Browser is still running in was still running. Okay, but we have this, so it won't wait after going back. It will directly close the browser. If you want to see, okay, let me. I'll wait here again for 3 seconds, and see now. Drive dot close. RNHRM is being opened. Maximize, wait for 3 seconds, go to Facebook, go back to RNHRM. Then 3 seconds after this, it will close. It closed automatically, right? I didn't close manually. It closed automatically because of this line. If you want to close the opened browser, then we use this driver dot close. Okay, and we have another method called driver dot quit. The purpose of this close and quit is almost same, but currently, for suppose we are opening this browser. Now, generally, when we open, let us assume that we are working on this URL. When I clicked on some of the links, it opened this window. And when I clicked on some of the links, it opened this window. Let us assume that. Okay, this is window 1, this is window 2, this is window 3. Now, my browser driver is on this window. If I use driver.close, only this window will be closed, but the browser is still present. Okay, driver.close will close the current window or current tab, only that active particular tab, whereas driver.quit is going to close this complete browser, including all the tabs that we opened using this driver instance. Or in other words to say, driver.quit is going to clear this object. Understood? Close driver, what does it do? Closes the current window, current active window or tab. Okay, completely kills the driver object, which means it closes all the tabs and driver object. Understood? Is that clear? Currently, I cannot show you this because we are not, we haven't completed the concept of navigating to Windows. There is a separate concept in Selenium. Once we open a window or once we open a page, and then if you want to navigate to a separate window, suppose I'll open this in a new window. Right? So when I clicked on this, it is opening a new window. I mean, I did cursor click, so that is why it opened in a new window. Now, actual driver is this, but when I clicked on this, it opened this new window. Now my control was in this. I have to shift my control from this to this. So how do we shift that control from this window to this window? Is we will be learning it a little later while we are learning switching to frame, switching to windows, and all the other concepts. So for now, you can ignore it. So when you have a single driver, I mean single browser which is open, or we can use driver.close to close that particular window. But if you want to kill both of these instances which we opened on the same browser, then you can use driver.quit method. Is that clear? Bobby, Angie, Sharat.
Yes, Nikhil.
If you're not understanding or if I'm going speed, please let me know. Make it interactive. We are entering into Selenium.
No, driver dot close current active window means orange one or wherever it is navigating. Which one it closes?
Now we have this window. Suppose I'm working on this window. If I say this is the only window that is opened with my driver, then if I say driver.close or driver.quit, it will close everything because there are no multiple windows, right? Multiple tabs are not present. So when I say driver.close or driver.quit, it will close this. But when I have some application and when I clicked on some of the links in the application, it opened a new window. Right? In this case, my current window is this one because I'm working on this window. Correct? If I say driver dot close, only this window will be closed and this window will be still present. If I say driver dot close, but I have uh, these two. Okay, I'm currently working on this window. I still have one other window which I opened using this browser or I opened using this driver. I want to close all the windows that I opened using this browser. Then I use driver.quit, which will close these both the browsers or both the tabs. Understood?
Okay, got it. All tabs, but that is
Exactly.
whatever the active tabs. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay. So these are some of the basic methods that are basic things that we should know about this WebDriver. Okay, we have one more thing called full screen. That's mandatory. But you know the difference between maximized window and full screen window, right? What do you want me to show? See, this is a maximized window.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see this browser tab close button is being displayed on my screen, right? Now if I press F11, how is it? How are you seeing? This is being shown like a complete screen element, right? You are not seeing the browser options. Do you see them? Header and footer. On the top, navigation URL, back button, forward button. Do you see them? No. If I click F11 again, it will be back. You see? These
Yeah.
all things. So if I want this browser to be opened in full screen mode, I can also do that. F11 will open in the full screen. I don't want, then again I'll press F11. So here also, if you want, here we have maximized this, right? Yeah, we have maximized it. But if you want to open in full screen mode, you can also open that in full screen. Driver dot manage dot window dot full screen. So this will open in that view. That's all. Understood? Close. Full screen. That's all. Okay. Right. So this is all about very basic introduction about the process. I did not. Okay. This, it's not a picture I'm live. I opened this browser, but I did not show you how to send or enter text into this username, enter text into the password, and click on login because those are not the basic operations. Okay, those are not the methods from the WebDriver. Those are from the search context. If you remember the hierarchy, just showed in this beginning of this session. Hierarchy, Selenium WebDriver. You see, we have seen something like this. You see, we have converted this Firefox driver to WebDriver, where you have these methods. This is a child class of search context, where you are having methods for find element and find elements. Okay, so we have to understand what is this find element and find elements method. So these are from search context, but whatever the methods that we have seen till now, navigate, get, close, quit, all are from this WebDriver. Understood? Now, if you want to work with these elements, first you have to understand the HTML and then you have to understand how to use this HTML. Okay? So, shall we continue or do you want me to stop?
Nikhil, I have one question.
Yes, please.
So, apart from like Firefox, Google Chrome, and other, let's say like we have other browser. Just like there is Microsoft something. I mean, I don't
Edge.
recall, but what if they, yeah, Microsoft. So what if like since you have already like downloaded, or like there is class for my Chrome and Google Firefox. What if we don't have like that one? So do we need to like
See, there are two things that we have to know. One, the Selenium support, and two, the browser driver exe file availability. Okay, so one,
okay.
Selenium support, you can find it in the reference libraries that we added. You see, you have Chrome, Edge, Firefox. These are all Firefox, and then we have HTML5, then we have Internet Explorer, and then you have Opera, okay, and then you have Safari. So these are the browsers that are supported by Selenium. Okay, if you don't know, if you don't remember which jar to open, which packages to see, then there is one particular site for us, right? Selenium.dev. This is the site. Okay, if you go to downloads, and then if you see here third-party drivers, bindings, and plugins, you see here browsers. If I click open, what are the browsers it is supporting? Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, Chrome, and Edge. We have almost all the browsers that we use: Firefox, IE, Safari, Opera, Chrome, and Edge. Do we have any other browsers other than this? Mostly. Like for example, in mobiles, we have Android default browsers will be there. MI browser. If you are using Redmi phones, you have MI browser. But since the MI browser is not supported by Selenium, and MI browser also should give its driver file. If they are not giving the driver file, we won't be able to understand how they are dealing with the operations. For example, to show you why we should do, we have Selenium, then why should we have the support from these browsers? Because each browser behaves in its own way. Okay, let me show you some example. W3 schools alert. Okay, now I'm going to this particular page, and then I'm trying it myself. Okay, this is the code. When I click on try it, you just observe the just observe what is happening on this browser. When I click on try it, you see some pop-up is coming here. Hello, I'm an alert box, right? Now let me copy this URL, open it. I'm opening it here. All right, I'll click on try it. How is it being displayed here? Is it same for Chrome and Firefox? You see, this is Chrome and this is Firefox. Is it same for both? Is it same? The display of this alert box is same for this. Here it says w3schools.com. Here it says an embedded page on this page says. But the matter is same. Hello, I'm an alert box. Hello, I'm an alert box. But the display of this alert and a display of OK button, you see the size of OK button here and here. Is it same for both Chrome and Firefox?
no?
Okay. Let me open the same on Internet Explorer or Edge. You will see it in different manner again. I have a purpose for explaining this. I come to your question. This answers your question. Okay. You see, this is Edge. I am clicking on try it. See, there is a border around the OK button. Right? These three are differently displayed. But I'm running the same code, same page, right? I'm using the same URL. And you see here, this is in light color. This is bolded here. So now you understood, though we are running the same code, each browser is interpreting it in different way. This is a very basic example. Each browser is interpreting it in a different way. If I open in IE, it will open it in a different way. It will open like a window pop-up.
So is that not a bug?
Sorry? Is
So that's not a defect?
No, it's not a defect. It's the browser's behavior. You see? Is it displaying as a browser alert? You are able to do this. This is a Windows alert. I won't be able to take any action until this alert is closed. You see how what is the difference between these two? I cannot move this. This is fixed in position, but here I will be able to move. You see it?
So why are we getting different, Nikhil?
That is the
Because
behavior.
our
Because
code is, oh, okay.
the code is same. Everywhere I'm using the same code, no problem. But how the browsers are interpreting this code is different. Each browser has its own way. See, though we have these many browsers in the world, most of the people use Chrome. Why? Because it's fast, it's easy, right? And compared to Firefox or IE, it is very fast and it's easy, right? It doesn't give any trouble for us. And it's user friendly. Right? So we are opening the same pages. If you are opening Orange HRM in Chrome, we will also open in Firefox. If you are opening Facebook in Chrome, we can also open the Facebook in Firefox. But why are we using only Chrome? I mean, why major part of the world is using Chrome or Safari? Because of its user friendliness and the speed, or because of its features that we have. What is the difference? Both are rendering the HTML pages. The difference in rendering the pages is different. Understood? So when Microsoft already has Internet Explorer, then why should they go for it? Why aren't they continuing with the Internet Explorer itself? Because Internet Explorer is unable to have or unable to cope up with the features of the real world or the latest world or latest features. So that is why they have to go with an alternative. They are shutting down or they are giving, they are stopping support for Internet Explorer and they are looking at only Edge. Both are Microsoft products. What is the difference? Why IE will be always slow? Because we don't know the way they render the pages, the way they contact. See, whenever we are giving this URL here, what is it doing? This is sending a request. Your browser is sending this request to a server, and that server is giving you a response back. Let me show you that. And you see, this is sending multiple requests here. You see, these many requests are sent. This is the request, and this is the information that is passed to the server, and then this is the response that I got. The response is a HTML page. This HTML page is rendered and created elements and displayed here. Understood? It's okay. Let's forget about all these things. When you open a browser and when you send a URL, this is sending a request to the server, and the server is responding to your request and giving you a HTML page back. That HTML page will be downloaded on your browser, and then you can see that HTML page. Since the internet is fast and then it is happening smooth, we are able to see this within seconds. Okay. Otherwise, it loads very slowly. Okay. All right. Now, since you asked a question, right? So what happens we are using Chrome, Firefox and Edge. What if we want other browsers like Safari, Opera? It's okay. For Safari and Opera, we have the support from Selenium. Okay, you have this Safari. I can go to this documentation site or Safari site where I can download the Safari driver, which is taking me to the Apple site. You see, Apple. And then here I can download this. Yes, you see WebDriver. I can download this WebDriver. Mac OS WebDriver commands Mac OS. So I can download this driver and keep it in my place. Okay, if not Safari, if I want Opera, I can go to Opera site and then download it. You see, this is from Opera, right? You can see the icon, Opera. I can click on this, it downloads the Opera driver, or based on the requirement. If it is a Linux version or Mac version or Windows version, 32 and 64, I can download this driver files. But if you have some XYZ browser for which you do not have the driver file, then you won't be able to automate using Selenium on that browser. Understood? Is your question answered, Yanti or Shara?
Yeah, Nikhil, thank you. But one more, like, so we need to, for each and everything, let's say like client want to see in Opera, so want to run in Opera, then we have to download that Opera browser web driver, right?
Exactly. Without the browser, you cannot open it and you cannot run scripts on it, right? If you have a need with the browser, then you need that browser to be installed in your machine.
Okay, that's my question. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You need to have that browser installed on your machine. Currently, I have only these three, so I used only these three. Okay. And two things you have to remember, that is Selenium should support it and the driver file should be available for you. Even though there is some XYZ browser which is having the driver file, but Selenium doesn't support it, right? There is no class to create an object. Suppose do I have XYZ class here? I do not have. So I cannot create an instance for that type. Okay. Selenium readily doesn't support the new browsers in the market. We need to have two things. One is the driver file should be available, that is the driver.exe file, and Selenium also should support that browser. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, Nikhil, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So this is all basic about the Selenium WebDriver and Selenium introduction. And after this, we have intro to HTML. Okay, configuring is done. We have all these notes. Whatever I did, how to download this IE driver, and then how to download this third-party drivers, how to get this Firefox driver, how to get the X driver. All these steps are present in this. Okay. And then installation of language bindings. So what are the language bindings and what are the commands? For Chrome, we have to use this. For Firefox, we have to use this. For IE, we have to use this. For Edge, we have to use this. For anything new, we can Google and then we can find it. Okay. There is one more thing that we have to remember about IE. If your browser default setting is not 100%, not only IE, even in Chrome, but the Chrome can manage. Even if the zoom percentage is not 100%, Chrome can manage, but IE will not be able to run the scripts if the zoom level is not 100%. So once you open the zoom, you see here it is 115 by default for me. So if it is this case, then your IE, Internet Explorer, will not work with Selenium. So what you have to do is you have to change it to 100%. Then only your Selenium scripts will work. That is one of the conditions for Internet Explorer. That is also I mentioned here. Okay. Then. So we have covered a different drivers one by one, and then we have also discussed the usage of WebDriver interface, and then we also discussed, or we have created a method for getting the WebDriver. WebDriver means WebDriver. Okay. We have seen those things. Then we have HTML. So since it's already 8:20, let us not go into this HTML today. Let us discuss about this HTML elements. How do we create HTML, and how do we find, or how do we analyze the HTML content in tomorrow's session? So any questions or in any questions in today's topic or previous topics?
No. What is the best link, Google link to go through this one?
Which one?
This one, the WebDriver and everything.
You want to you want the documentation or
No. Resource I'm asking. Google, there are so many things, right? Which one is the best you think? Tutorial, 1 gigs, 5 gigs, like that.
selenium.dev. This is the best thing where you have the complete documentation of. This is the official documentation. Okay.
Selenium.dev. Okay.
This is the official documentation. You have this Java, Python, C Sharp. You can also see sample codes here of different
Okay.
languages. Okay. So you can use this Java and you can see this. Okay. This is the menu where you have installation of Selenium, you have getting started, you are seeing the WebDriver and the methods of this WebDriver, understanding the components. You have everything inside this. Okay. See, WebDriver bindings, the support classes. This is browser, and then you have a driver. So your WebDriver is invoking this Chrome driver, and this Chrome driver is invoking the browser. Like this. Okay. And if it is having a remote machine, then you are invoking this remote WebDriver. This remote WebDriver will invoke the browser. It's like that. Using the Selenium server or grid. Their framework stated. Test framework. So you can see all the information here. How do you locate elements? What are the locating strategies we have? Locating one element. Whatever you want, all the information will be present here. Okay. This is the official documentation. All right. Any other questions for me? You don't have to search for these URLs, or you don't have to go to these websites. Since you asked, I gave you. If you just follow these sessions, you will have everything with you. I assume that you are, while I'm explaining or while I'm giving the session, you are writing your own code. You are looking at your system and you are writing your code. You are not concentrating on what I'm saying. So that is the reason you are unable to get, or that is the reason you are not able to understand
No.
at once.
No, Nikhil. These 2-3 days I'm working on production issue. I'm working on side by side, actually. Last 3 days.
Yeah, that is the reason you are not able to get this. I know.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
least
going.
this
I'm
1
in
hour.
call. I'm in call. I'm working.